Welcome back to Mayo Clinic Radio. I'm Tracy McRae, and now Dr. Laskowski has switched hats from co-host to guest.
Yes.
Glad to have you here, Dr. Laskowski.
It's a pleasure to still be here, Tracy.
We just talked about traveling and getting away for spring break, but there are some of us who are stuck at home, or maybe we can't get off of work, and the long winter break can take its toll on our fitness. And how do we get moving? This is the question that I want to know. You know, Dr. Laskowski, even for me, when everybody else goes to the gym in January, I tend to not go to the gym as much because I don't like the crowds. So I use that as an excuse, legitimate or not,
Right.
to kind of throttle back a little bit in January. I bet I'm not the only one.
You aren't. And you know the cold weather, of course. But, there's a lot of ways to get, movement is medicine. There's a lot of ways to get movement besides going to a gym. And in the wintertime, I think, first of all, in the wintertime, I think it's good to get outside a little bit. It really is. It does shorten the winter. There's beauty in the winter season, that's not there in the summer. So getting out and just walking in your neighborhood, snowshoeing, if you like outdoor sports and all, those are great things to do. And I think it makes the winter pass more quickly. And as long as we're prepared for it, dressing in layers, getting a layer close to your skin that's wicking of the moisture that may develop, and then dressing to have a windproof layer, have some good insulation in there. You can really be quite comfortable in very low temperatures. And sometimes you get a sunny day that's maybe 5 degrees, but the sun's out and the snow is glistening, and it's it can
Said
be
like
nice.
a true Minnesotan. I am
scary,
the same way. Yesterday it was such a beautiful sunshiny day, and I thought it's time to go for a run.
Excellent.
Well, all right. So we've got the activity. You could go outside, or last winter we survived the 60-degree below wind chill. You can certainly go to the mall or even go to box stores. I kind of went and did some laps at a box store last year.
That's great. Again, I think, with activity, people sometimes think, oh, man, I got to be running a marathon and doing those types of things. But again, any movement is good movement. So wherever you can get that, if you have indoor equipment, if you have a treadmill or you like an elliptical or a bike, and there's no magic piece of equipment. It really has to be something you like to do, that's practical, that's enjoyable. Then you're going to do it. Mall walking or walking in a community school or something like that, community centers, those are great. We can use technology, the electronic dance machines, if you like that,
right.
That gets you moving. Or regular dance,
Sure.
Ballroom dancing burns a lot of calories, actually. So
let's say that you do not belong to a gym, or you want to take my lame excuse of there's too many people there in the winter. What are some exercises that you can do at home without any equipment, that just at home, or maybe if you're on a break at work, that you could do? Are there a few of them you could share?
Sure. So, this most simple one that we tend to neglect is just walking. And really, you can get the same benefit as running from walking if you do it consistently. So just simple stuff. So the more you can walk, if you walk indoors on a treadmill, if you just walk around your workplace, the old thing about parking further away, the more walking you accumulate, the better for our health.
Okay.
That's one of them. A basic exercise that doesn't require any equipment is a squat.
Okay.
And we do a squat every day, when we sit down in chairs, get up from chairs. But technique is important, but we use multiple muscles and multiple joints in doing that exercise, and it's very what we call functional. It's specific to the things that we do in life, and it trains us for what we do in life, like sitting down, getting up.
So is this like you want to imagine, so that we do them correctly, because I don't want to mess with people's knees.
Yep.
If you're doing them correctly, you imagine that you're sitting down into a chair?
Yeah. If you want, though, we have on mayoclinic.org, we have a whole video series.
Okay.
So that is a good point. But it's important to keep your knees over your feet as well. You don't want your knees caving inwards. And we show you how to do it, though. You don't need a password. You don't need to log in. If you go to mayoclinic.org and you just search strength training videos, we have a whole mess of videos that cover body weight exercises. And these are exercises just using your own body weight like a squat.
Okay. I've got that. Walking and squat. What's next?
Well, how about core? Everybody talks about core.
Okay.
And we like a plank or a bridge position.
Okay.
Tracy, I hear you can do those for an hour, right?
Hours.
Right.
Hours and hours of planking. I don't care.
That's great. But those are great exercises. They use a bunch of different abdominal muscles at the same time and back muscles, and they train the core, that midsection of our body, which is very important. And again, on that same video series, we have instructions on how to do a proper plank or bridge exercise. We have a whole series actually on core exercises that you could peruse and look at as well. But plank or bridges for the core. floor. And a bridge position is kind of when you lie on your back and you just kind of hike your buttocks up and just kind of hold that position. That also trains a bunch of different muscles at the same time.
Okay, gotcha. All right, what's next?
A simple thing like stair climbing. It really does a nice job of training the glute muscles and giving you a good workout for a bunch of different muscles and joints in the legs. So taking the stairs is actually a good thing.
So I have seen people here at Mayo Clinic, because we've got some tall buildings.
Yeah.
I've seen them doing stairs.
Yep.
But even if you're talking about going from your basement up to your second level, just even those amounts of stairs are
Absolutely.
out. Okay.
Yeah, that accumulates. And if you want to repeat it and do it again, going down uses the muscles in a little different way than going up.
Okay.
So, and that, if you have ever run down a hill, or you kind of really feel those quads burning,
Right.
because they stabilize the knee when we do that. But yeah, those are very simple things. And again, you can work your way up. You don't have to do 17 flights at once.
Okay.
But that helps.
All right. And you said we've got 5. So those
Yep.
are walking, squat, plank or bridge, and stairs. What's the 5th one?
Well, how about a push-up?
Okay.
And it's basic, but it's kind of like a squat for the arms. It works a bunch of different upper extremity muscles and joints at the same time. Just be careful if you have some wrist issues or wrist pain or some shoulder issues. Again, technique very important with the way you do a push-up, but a properly performed push-up can be a nice exercise. And again, it's almost like in a plank position, so you're actually training core at the same time as well.
Does it matter if I'm doing on the knees or if you have to be on your toes? Does it matter either way?
It's a great point. And when you start off, you may want to be on your knees, because that reduces the stress. And
Anything that helps.
they're easier to do, right?
Excellent.
Exactly.
What about the people who are watching on the video can see there's a man sitting at his desk behind you. What about at work? If you have a job where you're sitting in a computer all day long, or even for that matter, we're just sitting here at this counter.
Right.
What are some things that you could do at work that might help?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think just changing position is key. And some of us may have access to standing desks or can request standing desks for our job. If we really are at the computer a lot of times, just even varying from a sit to stand position is helpful.
That really makes a difference to be standing.
It does make a difference. Yeah, just movement of the body. We want to prevent those prolonged static positions where we're just in one place. Treadmill desks, and again, not everybody will have access to these, but if you have an opportunity, those are desks in which we can actually walk at a slow pace while we're doing computer activities. There's some machines available as well when you're seated that you can actually pedal. It's almost like a bicycle you pedal, so you can put it under your workspace. Oh. You can be pedaling with your feet as you're working on the computer and working on desk tasks. And again, taking breaks. Sometimes it'll, even when we're in one place, even when our mind is just doing computer work for a long period of time, it needs a break as well.
Right.
So just getting up and walking around, even 2-3 minutes, and then getting back will refresh you.
And what about finally, when you're on the computer, this is for me, my shoulders start to go forward.
Yeah.
Is there a stretch or something that I can do when I'm doing that 1 or 2 minute break to kind of reverse the damage that I'm doing? Yeah,
no, that's a great point. Actually, on mayoclinic.org, if you search stretching slideshow, you'll get a whole mess of stretches, and that's called a pectoral stretch. And you are exactly right, Tracy. Our world now is in front of us, so we have computers and smartphones and tablets, everything kind of pulling us in that forward direction. So we need to do exercises that take us the other way, and things like stretching the pectoral muscles is one. We have a door frame one that you can do where you put your arm in a door frame and kind of turn away from that door frame, and that'll stretch the front part, the pectoral muscle. And again, in that slideshow, we'll show you how to do those. All right. Well, Dr. Laskowski, thank you so much for sitting in for Dr. Shives in our previous interview and for all your expertise in this one. My pleasure, Tracy.